My question is
Well,
this. If there's an opportunity like what Charlotte or what NASCAR is talking about, putting two seats amongst asses in the seats to separate people, to allow people to still be able to witness things live. And yes, I know that there's going to be, and that's my thing. Okay, that's going to work when people are in place. Okay, and I agree with that. But what about getting the butts into the stadium? What about the long lines going through to the
yeah.
arenas? So it's like, is it really matter if they do that? Because it's like you're really shooting yourself in the foot when everybody's trying to get in the gates. Or maybe they quarantine a time where, and I hate to say this, I know it'll be a little bit longevity, but, I don't know. Maybe they scan people separately, then they have them go through, scan people separately, then you go through. But then I think about the long lines at the concession stands. It's you can't win. I don't feel like we can win in this debate, Bruce.
Well, yeah, that's part of that's what I was talking about earlier. People they go like even if they're in the infield or something like that. But the thing is, they just congregate, and even with the lines up front, there's going to be a lot of people there, and concessions, buying T-shirts or whatever they're doing. There's going to be a lot of folks around, so it's going to be a tough thing. And you talk about the Indianapolis 500 and of course the Coca-Cola. Well, those are two of the three big races on the biggest weekend in motorsports.
That's
in my
right.
opinion,
Yes.
because you got Monte Carlo. Monaco comes up, and then you got
Well,
Indy.
they canceled the Grand Prix at Monaco. I don't know if you knew that or not, but they canceled the Grand Prix at Monaco. They canceled that already. Yeah, Formula One pulled the plug on that. Formula One pulled the plug on that weeks ago when all this started back in March. Yes.
Well, see, that just cuts into that great weekend of motorsport.
Yes.
That we look forward to every Memorial Day weekend.
We used to love. I used to love Memorial Day weekend because you had the big three, like you said. You had of course the Grand Prix of Monaco. You woke up in the morning, you saw the Grand Prix of Monaco for Formula One. You saw the Indianapolis 500 around lunchtime. And then, of course, then you set back about 5 hours later, just after 6 o'clock, and in a great state that we live in, North Carolina, in Charlotte, the Queen City, and you saw the Coca-Cola 600. And that is, and as somebody that's announced that event before, as somebody that's been a part of that event before, and just as somebody that's at one time being a fan watching it, that is truly one of the coolest races to ever see, Bruce Barrett, because it starts in the day. And just as much as the pit crews and the teams have to deal with the transitions and the race itself, the temperature change, the daylight to night setting, all of that makes it such an interesting race. I always say that is always an interesting 400 miles. The reason why they run a 400 laps, 600 miles, the reason why they make it 4 stages is because and it's the only race on the NASCAR circuit that has 4 stages. Bruce Barrett, each 100-lap segment in each stage is always interesting, and there's always a different scenario. You go from full daylight to just a nightfall to dusk to night, and it's completely exciting to see. Yes.
And I always thought about that time, the twilight. That's got to be tough on those drivers. I mean, because the difference, the perception, and everything just changes as the race goes on. It really shows those drivers how much skill these guys really do have and are able to adjust. And you talk about the big three that normally go that. These are the greatest drivers in the world.
Yes,
that's their biggest day, and it's really looking. It's really tough for the motorsports world that day with some of these events in question, especially the one that we know that's not going to happen this year at Monaco.
We've just got to hang in there. Bottom line, we've just got to hang in there. I believe there is a silver lining at the end of this tunnel. By the way, man, I've just been given this My goodness. Man, my heart breaks right now, Bruce, as we get ready to go to radio timeout. I've just been given this piece of information from a friend of mine at NASCAR. Blake Morris, the son of NASCAR late model NASCAR national champion Philip Morris, has passed away tragically. He was such a young man. As a matter of fact, I saw Blake Morris a couple of months ago down at Martinsville for the NASCAR late model race, and I feel for Philip Morris. I don't know if you know. I know you know Dick McCaskill and all them in the late model world, Bruce Barrett, but Philip Morris is truly one of the epitomes of superstars in NASCAR late model racing, and that's very sad to hear about the passing of Blake Morris.
Well, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family right now and to the team. It's just a terrible news tonight.
Sad situation indeed. We are going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we are going to talk Harlem Globetrotters basketball with one of the greats of the sport. From Tennessee we go. Paul Gaffney is next. This is the Sports Power Hour, part of CRN Podcasts. We'll be right back.
Looking for a life insurance company that specializes in what you actually need? Protection. Call Danny today with Symmetry Financial. Danny is certified in all 50 states, which means Symmetry Financial is not limited and has over 30 companies to choose from. Symmetry Financial has proved time and time again that their options and pricing is just better than the rest. Give Danny a call today at 828-994-1681 to see how Symmetry Financial can make life simple.
Some energy drinks want to scare you. Some even want to bully you around. And the others, they're just blowing smoke. Packed with vitamins B3, B5, B6, and B12, the new HiQ energy drink comes available in 4 exciting flavors. Skyberry Fusion, Apple, Coconut Fruit Punch, and Lemon Lime. Natural caffeine, no preservatives, no crash, no bull. HiQ energy drink. Wings are for birds.
This is CRN, the Community Radio Network, the voice of the community, the voice of anything sports, and proud to be the voice of the Comets. Follow us at crnsports.org. Now let's get back to the broadcast coverage on CRN.
Coming soon, the new wave of hydration and energy drink HiQ. This new product is all natural with no caffeine and gives you a major boost of hydration and energy. No twitching effect or crashing like the old energy drinks. You can visit our website at www.liquidhiq.com or Twitter at HiQ2015 to learn more about this amazing energy drink. What is your level?
Live your life and just let go. If you try, then you will know.
Looking for a life insurance company that specializes in what you actually need? Protection. Call Danny today with Symmetry Financial. Danny is certified in all 50 states, which means Symmetry Financial is not limited and has over 30 companies to choose from. Symmetry Financial has proved time and time again that their options and pricing is just better than the rest. Give Danny a call today at 828-994-1681 to see how Symmetry Financial can make life simple. This is CRN, the Community Radio Network, the voice of the community, the voice of anything sports, and proud to be the voice of the Comets. Follow us at crnsports.org. Now let's get back to the broadcast coverage on CRN.
Now back to live coverage on the CRN Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to the Sports Power Hour. Bruce Barrett, Wesley Outland. We are ready to talk some basketball, man. I gotta find the. I don't want to get in trouble for playing the Harlem Globetrotters theme, but I want to play it. So, getting all excited about the Harlem Globetrotters, and I've always, as we said, Bruce Barrett was one of those types that it was unlike any basketball game you ever seen. It was always something unique. It was something exciting. It's something fun. It's fan interactive. And, Bruce, the Harlem Globetrotters is just, they wear the red, white, and blue. They're the definition of America. Basketball is such a great sport. And joining us is one of the former greats of basketball. And the Harlem Globetrotters is where he finally ended his career. But he still stays in contact with everybody that's involved with it. A matter of fact, Paul Gaffney, I find it ironic that before all of this coronavirus nonsense pandemic started, this is truth now, the Harlem Globetrotters were set to play a game at PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina, just 20 miles down the road where I live in Clayton on that Sunday, March the 15th. Welcome to the Sports Power Hour, my friend.
Well, thank you very much. That kind of made me sad because I was there when it was that's when North Carolina State plays, and
yes,
we definitely love being there when it first opened. We know all the event coordinators and all the people that are there, Ron. So, I love being in Raleigh, but love being down there in North Carolina. North Carolina has been great, and some great people came from out of there.
So, Paul, how did the Harlem Globetrotters come to fruition, and why is it just one of the greatest things that you could ever see as a fan, young or old, boy or girl? And parents need to consider taking their family to see the Globetrotters whenever we are allowed to put y'all back in the arenas again.
Well, it started back in 1926, and it started off with in south side of Chicago. Everybody think it started off in New York, but it started off in south side of Chicago. A short guy that was a great promoter, Abe Saperstein, and he wanted the best basketball team out there. Back in 1926, it wasn't really allowed as much for African-American players to play with predominantly white players at the time. But he said, look, I want the best talent. So he started off in a ballroom in Chicago. He said, well, he wanted to name them Harlem, because he wanted to know during that time it was predominantly black people that were in Harlem, New York. So he wanted to let them know Harlem, and he wanted to call them Globetrotters like they are world travelers when they haven't been out to the south side of Chicago.
I like it.
So basically he was speaking things in existence. It came about then, during the time they played ball, and it's basically 5 of them. If somebody got sick, they or got tired, he kind of came in. So they try not to get sick or get tired. But during the time, how a lot of the antics started were they were playing in a basically a barn back in that time that had a pot belly stove. They wanted to put wood in, and it sits out by itself to get warm.
Right.
So one of the players backed up on it, tried to get warm, and his shorts caught on fire. And he ran across the floor, and people, was laughing, and it stopped the game for a while and gave guys time to rest. And so they started coming up with stuff. They knew they couldn't burn a player up every night, so they came up with different things to